10 Harsh Realities of Being a 77-year-old Man. My name is Robert. I'm 77 years old, and I'm about to tell you 10 things that nobody wants to hear, but everybody needs to know. I'm not making this video to depress you. I'm making it because someone should have told me these things when I was your age, and nobody did. And I've watched too many people waste their lives making the same mistakes I made. So do me a favor. Watch this all the way to the end. I know it's long. I know you're busy. But I promise you, something in this video will change how you see your life. And 20, 30, 40 years from now, you'll be glad you listened. Let's start with the first harsh reality. Reality number 1, your body has an expiration date and you don't know when it is. I'm 77. I can't do half the things I could do at 50. Hell, I can't do half the things I could do at 65. My knees hurt every morning. My back went out last year picking up a bag of groceries. I take 7 different medications just to keep everything running. I need glasses to read, hearing aids to hear. I get tired after doing things that used to be effortless. This isn't complaining. This is just reality. Your body breaks down, slowly at first, then faster than you'd think. I have a friend, Marcus, who spent his entire life saying he'd travel when he retired, going to hike Machu Picchu, see the Great Wall, explore New Zealand. He had it all planned out. He retired at 67, had the money, had the time, finally ready to do all those things he'd put off. Then he had a stroke. Mild one, but enough. Now he can't walk long distances, can't handle the physical demands of serious travel. All those dreams? Gone. He sits in his living room now, looking at travel books, telling me about all the places he was going to see. The thing nobody tells you when you're young. You think you have time to do everything later, when you're more established, when you have more money, when the timing is right. But your body doesn't wait for the right timing. It just ages. And one day, later arrives and your body says, "Sorry, we can't do that anymore." I wanted to learn to surf. Sounds stupid, I know, but I grew up in California, lived near the beach my whole life, and I always thought it looked amazing. I'll learn someday, I tell myself. I'm 77. I'm never learning to surf. That ship sailed about 20 years ago, and I didn't even notice it leaving. Whatever physical things you want to do in your life, do them now. Not next year. Not when you lose those 10 pounds. Not when you have more time. Now. Because your body is the best it's ever going to be today. Reality. So, most of your friendships won't survive time and distance. When I was 25, I had a group of 8 close friends. We did everything together. We were convinced we'd be friends for life. Blood brothers, that kind of thing. I'm still in touch with one of them. One. And even that's mostly Christmas cards and the occasional phone call. The rest? Life happened. People moved, got married, had kids, changed careers, drifted apart. It's not that we had a falling out. We just stopped putting in the effort, stopped making time, let months turn into years, turn into decades. 2 of them are dead now. Gary died at 63, heart attack. I found out 3 weeks after it happened because nobody thought to call me. That's how disconnected we'd become. I went to his funeral, saw the other guys from our group. We hugged, said we should get together more often. Never did. Here's what I learned. Friendships don't survive on nostalgia. They survive on effort, on showing up, on making time even when it's inconvenient. And most people don't do that. They let friendships fade and tell themselves, we'll always be friends while doing nothing to make that true. I'm 77 and I'm lonely. Not because I'm isolated. I have family, I have acquaintances. But deep friendships, the kind where someone really knows you, I have maybe two. And I had chances for dozens more that I let slip away. If you have good friends now, fight like hell to keep them. Call them, visit them. Make the effort even when life gets busy. Because one day you'll be old and you'll realize that money and success and achievements don't keep you company. People do. And if you didn't invest in those relationships, they won't be there. Reality number 3. Your parents will die and you're not ready for it. Both my parents are gone now. Dad died 23 years ago. Mom died 11 years ago. And I still think about things I wish I'd said to them. Questions I wish I'd asked. Time I wish I'd spent. My father was a difficult man. We had a complicated relationship. Lots of unresolved stuff. I always thought we'd have time to work through it, to have those hard conversations, to understand each other. He died suddenly at 68. Aneurysm. I got a call from the hospital. By the time I got there, he was gone. And all those conversations we were going to have, all that resolution we were going to find, never happened. I stood at his funeral and realized I barely knew him. I knew him as my father, but not as a person. I didn't know his fears, his dreams, his regrets. I didn't know what his life was really like beyond what he showed me. And now I never would. My mother lived longer, made it to 83. I had more time with her. But you know what? I still didn't ask enough questions, still didn't spend enough time, still put things off, assuming there would always be more time. Her last few years, she had dementia. By the end, she didn't know who I was. And I'd missed my window, all the stories I should have asked about, all the time I should have spent. Gone. If your parents are still alive, call them. Visit them. Ask them about their lives. Record their stories. Spend time with them even when it's inconvenient. Because one day they'll be gone, and you'll have a lifetime of regret about all the things you didn't do. Trust me on this. The pain of losing a parent is bad enough. The pain of losing them and knowing you wasted the time you had, that's unbearable. Reality. Pro 4. The things you think will make you happy won't. I spent 40 years chasing success. Better job, bigger house, nicer car, more money in the bank. I thought once I achieved certain things, I'd finally be happy. Finally be satisfied. I achieved most of what I set out to achieve, made good money, had a nice house in a good neighborhood, retired comfortably, and you know what? None of it made me happy, not in any lasting way. You get the promotion and you're excited for about a week. Then it's just your new normal, and you're already thinking about the next promotion. You buy the nice car, and it feels great for a month. Then it's just the car you drive, and you barely notice it. You reach your savings goal, and instead of feeling secure, you just set a new, higher goal. It's a treadmill. You keep running, thinking the next milestone will be the one that finally makes you feel complete. But it never is. You know what actually made me happy? My grandson teaching me to play video games last year. I'm terrible at them, but we laugh, and he's patient with me. And those 2 hours every week are the highlight of my life. Sunday dinners with my daughter where we just talk about nothing important, about everything. The neighbor kid who shovels my driveway without me asking and won't take payment. These tiny, ordinary moments, no achievement involved, no goal reached, just connection, just being present with people who matter. I wish someone had told me at 30, the things you're chasing won't fulfill you. Relationships will, experiences will, being present will, but achievements, They're empty calories. They fill you up temporarily, but leave you hungry. Reality number 5, you'll become invisible. This is a hard one. Nobody talks about it, but it's true. When you're old, people stop seeing you. Not literally, but you stop mattering in the way you used to. I walk into a store, and salespeople look right through me. I'm at a restaurant, and the waiter takes 20 minutes to check on me. I'm telling a story at a family gathering, and people stop listening halfway through because, well, Grandpa's telling another old story. You go from being someone people listen to, someone whose opinion matters, to being background, decoration. The old guy. It's humbling and painful, and there's nothing you can do about it. Society values youth, energy, potential. When you're old, you're seen as past your prime, used up, irrelevant. I have 77 years of experience. I've seen things, learned things, understand things that young people haven't figured out yet. But does anyone want to hear it? Rarely. They smile politely and then go back to their phones, back to their lives, back to ignoring the old man in the corner. I'm telling you this not for sympathy, but so you understand. Being old is lonely, even when you're surrounded by people, because people stop really seeing you as a full person. So while you're still visible, while people still listen, say the things that matter. Do the things that matter. Don't wait until you're old and invisible and nobody's paying attention anymore. Reality number 6, regret hurts more than failure. I've failed at a lot of things in my life. Business ventures that didn't work out, relationships that ended, goals I didn't achieve. And you know what? Those failures don't haunt me. They're just part of life. You try things. Sometimes they don't work. That's okay. What haunts me are the things I didn't try, the risks I didn't take, the opportunities I let pass because I was afraid. I had a chance to move to Japan for 2 years when I was 32. A work assignment. Amazing opportunity. I said no because it felt too risky, too disruptive, too uncertain. I think about that decision at least once a week. For 45 years, I wondered what my life would have been like if I'd said yes. I had feelings for a woman named Catherine when I was 45. I was divorced. She was divorced. We had this connection, but I never told her because I was afraid she didn't feel the same way, afraid of rejection, afraid of making things awkward. She moved away 6 months later. I found out years later from a mutual friend that she'd had feelings for me too. We were both too afraid to say anything. I could have had a completely different life. But I let fear make my decisions. That's what I regret. Not the things I did and failed at, but the things I didn't do because I was too afraid. You're going to fail at things in your life. That's guaranteed, but at least you'll know. You'll have tried. You won't spend decades wondering, what if? The pain of failure is temporary. The pain of regret lasts forever. Reality 7. Time with your children goes faster than you can imagine. I have 2 kids. They're in their 50s now. Successful, independent, living their own lives. And I can barely remember them being young. I know logically that they were children for 18 years, but it feels like it lasted about 10 minutes. I blinked and they were teenagers, blinked again and they were adults with their own families. When they were little, the days felt long, exhausting, endless. I remember thinking, is bedtime ever going to come? Is this day ever going to end? But the years were short, unbelievably short, and I wasn't present for enough of it. I was there physically sometimes, but mentally I was at work, worried about deadlines and projects and career advancement. My son had a basketball game every Tuesday for 3 years. You know how many I went to? Maybe a dozen. Out of over 100 games, I was too busy, too important, too focused on things that, looking back, didn't matter at all. He never complained, never made me feel guilty, just stopped expecting me to show up. That breaks my heart more than if he'd been angry. The quiet resignation that Dad wasn't going to be there. Now he has kids of his own, and I watch him make time for their activities, show up for their events, be present in their lives, and I'm proud of him for being the father I wasn't. But it also reminds me of what I missed, what I gave up, time I can never get back. If you have kids, or if you're planning to have kids, hear this. They will not be young forever. This phase, whatever phase they're in right now, it's temporary. It's fleeting, and you cannot get it back. Work will always be there. Your career will survive if you leave early for a school play. But your child's childhood, that only happens once. Be there. Be present. Put your phone down. Look them in the eye. Listen to their stories even when they're boring. Play with them even when you're tired. Because one day they'll be grown and gone, and you'll have nothing but memories. Make sure you have enough good ones. Reality. 8. Your health will fail before you're ready. I thought I was healthy. I exercised sometimes, didn't smoke, wasn't overweight. I thought that was enough. Then at 68, I had a heart attack. Completely blindsided me. I was just living my life, feeling fine, and suddenly I'm in an ambulance wondering if I'm going to die. I survived, had bypass surgery, recovered, but it changed everything. Now I have medications, dietary restrictions, limits on what I can do. My body betrayed me, and I had no warning. That's how it happens for most people. You feel fine right up until you don't. And by then it's often too late to undo the damage. I have diabetes now, high blood pressure, arthritis. My kidneys don't work as well as they should. Every year brings a new diagnosis, a new limitation, a new reminder that this body is wearing out. And I can't help but think, if I'd taken better care of myself when I was younger, would any of this have been preventable? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. But I wish I'd tried. Take care of your body, not to look good, not to be impressive, but because you're going to need it for a long time, and you'll regret every way you mistreated it. That bad knee from playing sports too hard in your 20s, it's going to hurt every day when you're 70. Those years of eating terribly and not exercising, they add up. They turn into diseases that steal your quality of life. Your body is keeping score even when you're not. And one day, it will present you with the bill. Reality number 9. You'll realize too late what actually mattered. This is the big one, the one that kills me. At the end of your life, you don't think about work. You don't think about achievements. You don't think about money or status or any of the things you spent so much time chasing. You think about people, about moments, about love and connection and experiences. I lie in bed at night, and I don't think about the deals I closed or the promotions I got. I think about my wife, who died 6 years ago. I think about holding her hand, laughing with her, the way she looked at me, the life we built together. I think about my kids when they were small, my daughter's laugh, my son's questions about everything. I think about my parents, my friends, the people I loved and the people who loved me. That's what matters. That's all that matters, really. But I didn't know that when it counted. I knew it intellectually, maybe, but I didn't know it, didn't live like it was true. So I missed things, sacrificed things, prioritized the wrong things, And now I can't get them back. You can't buy more time. You can't achieve your way into more meaningful relationships. You can't succeed your way into a life well lived. You just have to live it. Be present for it. Choose the right things while you still can. Reality, nurture 10. It goes faster than you think. This is the hardest truth, the one that nobody believes until it's too late. Life is short. I know you've heard that 1,000 times. It's cliché. But it's cliché because it's true and because everyone learns it too late. I'm 77 years old. I don't know how much time I have left. Could be a year, could be 10 years, could be tomorrow. And it feels like I just started. It feels like I was 25 about 6 months ago. That's how fast it goes. You think you have forever. Then suddenly you're old and you're looking back, wondering where it all went. The years don't feel fast while you're in them. The days are long, weeks can drag. But the decades, they evaporate. You're 25, then you blink and you're 40. Blink again and you're 60. Blink again and you're where I am, wondering how you got here and wishing you'd done so many things differently. I'm making this video because I don't want you to waste your life the way I wasted so much of mine. I want you to understand, really understand, that you don't have unlimited time, that the people you love won't be here forever, that your body won't work forever, that chances come and go and don't come back. I want you to take risks while you still can, to say, I love you to the people who matter, to show up for your life instead of always preparing for it, to actually live while you still have the chance. I'm 77. Most of my life is behind me. And if I could go back and change one thing, it wouldn't be a mistake I made or a failure I experienced. It would be all the moments I wasn't present for, all the time I wasted, all the love I didn't express, all the chances I didn't take. Don't make my mistakes. Don't wait until you're 77 to figure out what matters. Figure it out now, while there's still time to do something about it.